An ancient African proverb says, "Those who are at one regarding food are at one in life." In this documentary, we'll be looking at 10 African power foods, also known as superfoods, foods that feed the body and feed the brain, and can make a big difference to your overall performance in so many areas, especially in sport and in education, both in teaching and learning, and also in other areas of work that need high levels of concentration and of physical strength. All of these foods are either originally from Africa or have been here for many centuries, and all are still readily available in Africa. Most of these foods cost the consumer in Europe and North America a lot of money to buy, and are not eaten so much by the poor, but by the rich. The first on the list of 10 African power foods we'll be looking at today is the first in many ways: beans. People have been eating beans for thousands of years, and most of Africa and the world will wake up to beans for breakfast every day. Beans are a great source of protein and fiber, and also contain B vitamins, zinc, iron, and magnesium. Beans are an important and essential part of a healthy, balanced diet, and an integral part of any fitness diet. The second African power food on the list is plantain. Plantain has been one of the main sources of carbohydrates for people in Africa, Asia, and Central and South America and the Caribbean for centuries. In ancient Buganda, now known as Uganda, they said it was the plantain that gave them the power to become a kingdom. Plantain are a rich source of B-complex vitamins. They also provide required levels of minerals such as phosphorus, iron, and magnesium. Magnesium will strengthen your bones and will also protect your heart from cardiac arrest. Two assets any sports person should have: strong bones and a healthy heart. Third on the list of African power foods is peanuts. Peanuts are said to be from South America and are said to have been brought to Africa by the Portuguese and the Spanish. Eating peanuts and other nuts helps to maintain your weight levels and avoid becoming overweight. They protect against Alzheimer's, they are said to be anti-aging, and lower the risk of cardiovascular and coronary heart diseases. Peanuts are known in African culture to be an aphrodisiac and are also said to make women more fertile. Peanut butter is said to be even more effective than the raw peanuts. The fourth of our African power foods is fish. Fish is generally considered to be among the best foods you can eat for a healthy heart. In Africa, fishing is a massive industry, both locally and commercially, and in some countries, especially those in the coastal regions, fish is the common diet, being the most affordable. However, on the contrary, fish is one of the most expensive items in any market or restaurant in Europe or North America. Traditional African ways of using fish include smoked fish and dried fish, and fried fish is very popular throughout Africa and in the Caribbean. This is a great meal to eat every day, unlike some other takeaway meals that if you eat every day will cause you serious health problems. Fish will only have a positive effect on your health. No supersize me here, guaranteed. Avocado is the fifth on our African power food list. Avocados are known to have been used by the Mayans as far back as 5000 BC. However, the Spanish claim to have discovered them in central Mexico 10,000 years ago. Regardless of their history, in Nigeria, Kenya, and Ghana, and all over Africa, the avocado is simply eaten on its own or with bread and pear, as they say in Jamaica. The benefits of eating avocado are a healthier heart, lower blood pressure, protection against cancer, better skin, diabetes prevention, and as a constipation remedy, and to help you lose weight without feeling hungry. Cassava is the sixth of the African power foods on the list and is one of the most popular edible root vegetables in many parts of Africa, Asia, and South America. About half of the world production of cassava in this time is in Africa. Cassava is grown and cultivated in up to 42 countries in Africa. Cassava is very low in fats and high in levels of protein. It has nearly twice the calories of potatoes. Young tender cassava leaves are also a good source of dietary proteins and vitamin K. Vitamin K can help build your bone mass and make your body structure stronger. It is also one of the best sources of important minerals such as zinc, magnesium, copper, iron, and potassium. Real power materials that will make someone much stronger if eaten regularly. The seventh on the list of African power foods is yam. Yam is a carbohydrate-rich staple root vegetable of West African origin. In Ghana, beside their use as food, yams have been symbolically associated with culture and ritualism for centuries. The fresh root contains good amounts of the antioxidant vitamin C. Vitamin C has anti-aging properties and boosts your immune system, keeping you young and strong and healthy. 100 grams of yam provides about 816 milligrams of potassium. Yam is also one of the best sources of other minerals such as copper, calcium, iron, manganese, and phosphorus. Yam also promotes the growth of your bones, again making you physically stronger, and it's used by lots of professional sportsmen and women. The eighth African power food is honey. Honey can increase athletic performance. This has been proven in modern-day studies, showing that it's more effective in maintaining glycogen levels and improves recovery time more than other sweeteners such as white sugar and aspartame. In Ethiopia, they use honey in religious ceremonies, and one of their most famous kings, Labella, is named after the bee's honeycomb. One of the best-known quotes on honey is from King Solomon, "My son, eat thou honey, for it is good." King Solomon, Proverbs 24:13. Sugar is unquestionably one of the biggest problems in world health, but not the sweet sugar of the honeybee. Even though honey contains simple sugars, they are not the same as artificial sweeteners or white sugar, and rather than harming the body like other sugars, honey helps the body to regulate blood sugar levels. Ninth on the list of African power foods are sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are one of the oldest vegetables known to man. Sweet potatoes offer athletes superior complex carbohydrates. The carbohydrates are stored by the body and then effectively used when needed. They also contain vitamin C, iron, and the antioxidant beta-carotene. It is said that sweet potatoes are a better source of beta-carotene than the dark leafy vegetables, which were previously known to have the highest levels. The 10th and final African power food may come as a surprise to some, even those in Africa. It's Moringa, known in some parts as nebadai. The history of Moringa goes back to ancient Nubia in Egypt. It was widely used to prevent illness. In those times it was a much more common approach, prevention being better than cure. The surprising thing might be that Moringa is actually a food. You can cook with Moringa, use it to make smoothies and shakes, and use it to make tea. A very refreshing and good way to take Moringa every day. Basically, and maybe again surprisingly, Moringa contains all the attributes of all the other 9 African power foods on the list in one plant. Moringa is fully endorsed by the World Health Organization and is also recommended by the Johns Hopkins Research Institute in America, who say it cures and prevents up to 300 known ailments and diseases and brings about focus and clarity. As we've said throughout this documentary, food really is important, not only to the body, but to the brain. The brain is just like the body. It needs exercise and good nourishment. On the subject of food and sports, it is becoming more and more recognized around the world that food plays a vital role in performance, both mentally and physically. Today, all top-flight football clubs have dietitians on their staff. Arsenal were one of the first clubs to do this back in 1996, when Arsene Wenger took over. Even FIFA published comments on food, such as eating too few carbohydrates immediately before a match can be the downfall of many players. More recently, Usain Bolt, the Jamaican all-time world champion sprinter, has brought a lot of attention to superfoods. Food is the key to enhancing your skills and your strengths and taking it to the next level. Eat your way to be a professional footballer or a PhD scientist. A healthy body and a healthy mind. Thank you for watching African Power Foods.